Hello everyone, welcome back to my shop. I saw an opportunity to make a little video today, and I just kind of want to talk about a few things. Number one, I was at Walmart the other day, and I was trying to pick up a filter, and of course, you never go into Walmart and buy one thing. That just doesn't happen. So I go in there and just messing about. I pick up the air filter, and I'm like, well, while I'm here, I'm gonna stroll through the tool aisle and see what I can't find. Now, a lot of times my local Walmart is kind of picked clean. They don't have a lot. On this specific occasion, they had quite a bit, especially with that new Heart line that just emerged from absolutely nowhere, mind you. They got quite a big selection now. They still carry their Hyper Tough stuff, and I picked these up. They were on sale for $3. I think they're normally like $6, $7, I think. And I picked these up for a project that I can't necessarily remember because I can't remember anything. I have projects in my head, a week away and totally forget about it. But pick these up and just kind of wanted to maybe talk about them a little bit. Now, before I do that though, about forgetting, I kind of was talking to some of my friends the other day, and I was trying to tell them that, me and the missus, she got a little frustrated at me not too long ago, and she said, well, you know what, you never listen. And I tried to explain to her, I said, honey, no, I listen perfectly fine. I'm probably the best listener there ever was. The problem is, I don't remember. That's my thing. But anyway, they got a kick out of it, and so did I. Back to tools now. I bought this little 6-piece pen and punch set, and $3. Can't beat that. But I know a lot of people out there, they kind of have this like stigma or whatever, I would never buy tools from Walmart. That's just asinine. That's ridiculous. Well, I understand where you're coming from, especially like if you use tools, especially power tools. If you use tools every day and you use tools to make your living, I probably wouldn't be shopping at Walmart either. That's my personal opinion. But if you need almost like a throwaway set of tools, like I'm gonna buy these, and I don't really care what happens to them. If they rust, oh well, they were cheap, they got the job done, and they'll get the job done again. That's what these are. You're on the road, oh shit, I forgot something, I forgot this. That's what these are, I feel, in my opinion. Now, like Hyper Tough. My opinion of Hyper Tough, I think they got pretty decent razor blades, and those are actually made in the U.S. The last time I checked, anyway. Also, I use some of their drill bits in my drill press because they're cheap, they work, damn dogs. Neighbor let his dog out. They make clean holes, nothing wrong with that. And they're also at a reasonable price where if I was to snap one off in my project, it's not the end of the world. Instead of you buying like these real expensive, diamond tip, carbide tip, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And use that a few times and whoops, maybe a little too much pressure, you snap it off. Well, guess what? You just flush that money down the drain. So that's where I feel like Hyper Tough comes in. They make pretty decent tools. I got some of their pry bars because they were made in the U.S. and they had them on sale for $5 a piece, I think. And I mean, they work. There's nothing wrong with that. And like a lot of times, like I was saying, every time I go in there, they have a bunch of stuff on clearance. Now, you really can't beat that. So, I mean, I guess you got to kind of weigh your options when you're trying to buy tools, especially like hand tools like these. I mean, whatever you're doing, whatever you need them for, I'm pretty sure this will get the job done. Now, but like I was saying earlier, if you use these tools every day, multiple times a day, I mean, I don't know how the outcome would be. So maybe you would be better off spending the extra money. But enough of that. I'm going to open these up, just take a closer look at them, and then I'll bring you guys back in. Alright, you all. Opened it up. Now we're going to take a little bit of a closer look. I mean, we're not going for professional quality here, so there's going to be little discrepancies and, smaller things that really aren't that big of a deal. Like, first off the bat, I don't know if you can tell, but this one's a little bit bent. And it's not that big of a deal. I'll put it in the vise and straighten it back up. But, here's all your sizes. Let me get that in there. This is what it comes with. Wear your safety goggles. So, I mean, you got a little variety here. And I mean, the finish on these, it's to be expected. It's not the best, but not terrible. Like I said, we're not going for professional quality here. So, just like I always say, like everybody else always says, you get what you pay for, 99% of the time. So, you really, like I said earlier, you have to pick and choose. You have to give and take when you're buying tools. You have to weigh your options. You have to tell yourself, well, what am I going to be using it for? Am I going to be using it frequently? Am I going to use it once or twice a year and it's just going to sit in my toolbox? So, and that's my case. I'm probably going to use this maybe 4 times a year. I don't do a whole lot of metalworking. I'm more of a woodworking type. In conclusion, I think we could all assume that you don't always need to spend large amounts of money on tools that you may use here and there. So when people bash cheaper tools, like I said earlier, I'd never, some of my friends had told me straight up that I will never buy Walmart brand tools. So, I mean, I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, they're not using them all the time. They're just using them for, weekend projects and that kind of stuff. So, like I said, you got to weigh your options, see what's the best fit for you, and make your decision. But anyway, when I wrap up this video, I just want to ask you guys what you think about the new Heart tools. I see some of them out there, and they don't look too terrible. I think I actually saw their miter saw yesterday, and I thought it looked good. It looked pretty sleek, I can't lie. But my main complaint about that whole thing is, why did they choose white out of all the colors? When I buy power tools or anything, no matter how much I'm using it, I don't want to use it one time and make it look like I've used it for 3 years. That just drives me nuts. And some of them, I looked at their impact driver the other day, and it looked, the finish on it looked pretty rough, I can't lie. I mean, the overmolding on it was already peeling off. It didn't look that great, but, you know, they're really not going, well, I mean, they're trying to be like, I mean, they're trying to, I feel like the Hart brand is maybe like an upscaled Hyper Tough, if you will. I mean, it's a little bit better, but not that much. I mean, I can't lie. Now, that being said, I've actually never used Hart brand tools. I might, if my drill goes bad, I might consider buying their power drill, and I might do a video on it and talk about it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about Hart and Hyper Tough. Let me know how you feel about that brand. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and maybe you feel the same way, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe.